Tony Rawlings is on campus where he was part of the news conference with Lee and Lewis. And Tony, I'm guessing it was indeed an emotional scene.
It was certainly a more somber scene than we're used to seeing from such a lighthearted and lively team, but it wasn't as emotional as you might think. All 15 players showed up in support of Damian and Trey, and here's what Damian and Trey had to say about this whole situation.
I mean, none of us really, expected this happening today. When Trey and I first, broke the news, we were truly devastated. For us to come from where we came from, put ourselves in this position, be the number 2 seed right now in the ACC, and put ourselves in this position to play in the NCAA tournament. Once we heard the news, we were truthfully devastated, and really just heartbroken and thankful. We have these guys behind us that are here and could pick us up.
It's not just about both of us. It's about these group of guys who are behind us. They have to deal with this. Our coaching staff, and we know it's bigger than us. It's not just about us right now. And but we came here on for a purpose and a mission to play for this great school. And and the reason we came here, was to play in the tournament. And to play for Coach's great track record. He's proven that he knows what it takes to get to that point, and that was taken away from us. So it definitely hurts, but we're trying to stay as positive as we can and continue being the leaders that we are and lead this team.
Tony, I was a little surprised, but once again, it goes to show that the team is following the lead of their 2 fifth-year guys. I was surprised that there wasn't more pettiness. Both Damian and Trey were very, very professional in their approach.
Right. I think they kind of see this for what it is. There's circumstances outside of their control. And instead of whining about it, instead of pouting about it and being the victim in this situation, they're determined to make the best out of it and play these last 9 games that they have remaining as hard as they can, for one, and as hard as they've played up until this point. There's definitely no giving up in this basketball team.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when you and I were talking beforehand, you brought up a point that I haven't heard anyone else talking about. Yes, it affects the 2 fifth-year guys. It also affects the team on another level. I'm specifically talking about Mango Mathiang, who is playing his way back from injury, or rehabbing his way back from injury, and now really what's the point in him coming back until next season?
Exactly. You definitely would like to see him get fully healthy instead of rushing him back as they potentially could have done dealing with ACC tournament play. And the thing about Mango is, you don't know what he could have done in the latter part of this season with the ACC tournament, with the NCAA tournament. He's definitely not a sure thing to enter the NBA draft next year, but looking at the experience he could have gained in these last few games toward the end of the season is definitely something that would have helped him, or at least solidified where he would stand in that decision making.
Tony, you've been covering this team all season. What do you expect to see from them these last 9 games?
Oh, I expect to see maximum effort. I think, as hard as they played up to this point, we'll see them play with the fire and intensity that we haven't seen yet. I think they want to show everyone just how much they deserve to play in the postseason, and through the inability to play in the postseason, they're going to put their best basketball on display from here on out.
And it all starts tomorrow at noon. Louisville taking on a Boston College team. Louisville a heavy favorite in that. I'm thinking that UofL, one of 2 things. They're either going to come out flat just because of today's emotion, or they're just going to wipe the floor with BC.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for the Eagles on this one. They're not a great team to begin with. I think they're winless in the conference. But I think you're right, Bruce. I think Louisville will come out guns blazing in this one. And they said even after the fact of getting this news that they had a spirited and lively practice this afternoon. So that tells me that they will be firing on all cylinders tomorrow in the game.
All right, Tony Rawlings, sit tight. We'll come back to you in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and bring back Tony Rawlings, who's been covering the Damian Lee and Trey Lewis side of things. Tony, you've had time to reflect on everything going on. What are your thoughts so far on what we've seen today?
I think the biggest thing that really hits me about all of this is the timing of it. You know, we knew the other shoe would drop in one form or another eventually, but to have that huge win over North Carolina, sort of that signature win that we talked about, that this team finally gelled and came together and played their hearts out to get that W, going into pretty much a cupcake game against Boston College, to have this sort of dampen the mood, you know, as you could sort of see them hitting their stride and getting on a roll, I think is the biggest takeaway for me.
And Tony, you were saying during the press conference, the players did a good job of showing unity and solidarity.
Most definitely. All the players on the team were there, truly embodying the phrase that you see at the opening video intro of the games, the who got your back, I got your back. And you can certainly see, as we've heard Coach Pitino say time and time again, that this group is a family. This group is a special team, if you will, because they all get along. And with so many egos, so much chances at success and competition for minutes, that's a real rarity in college basketball these days.
Here's Trey Lewis talking about that very point.
Yeah, I mean, it started when we first got here, me and Damian together. You know, we said that, you know, we're in this together, you know, thick and thin, whatever happens, you know. So right before coming to here, he's like, you know, I love you no matter what. And, like, that's the type of relationship me and him have. And so we still have each other's back. This team, you see, they wanted to be a part of this. You know, they're here with us right now. And we're going to get through this together. So I mean, we truly believe we're a family, and we want the community still behind us like they have been. And we're going to keep playing hard for them. So nothing's changed in our minds on the sense of we're still going to give it everything we have. We have 9 games left. 9 games left in the season. We're going to give everything we got.
And Tony, the players, Pitino, made sure that the fans were a part of this equation as well.
Say it one more time for me, Bruce.
Pitino and the players made sure the fans were a part of this equation as well, imploring the fans to make sure they continue to support the Cards.
Certainly, you know, it's been interesting to see the dynamic of how well the fans have received Trey and Damian both together, and, you know, just all the love that they've gotten from this fan base. And to have 4 more games at home, I think that drives this point home a little bit more, with this being so close to the end of the year, that they want the fans to continue to come out and continue to support them, because they're certainly a part of this Louisville community.
All right, Tony Rawlings, good job. We appreciate it.